persons have the right to apply for revision in the High Court. Section 48 gives the High Court the power to call for the proceedings of the lower court to examine them, and it is at that point that the lower court can forward the file for revision purposes. This court cannot hold the criminal proceedings to await the revision proceedings. The court will proceed with the proceedings.
Maybe Doctor will use that one. Can move it and then you hold it.
Your Worship, once again I seek your indulgence as I did previously. Because as has been severally cited, this is a very serious case against us that may lead to our death. Your Worship, this is not the first time I am being charged with treason. This is in fact the third time he has charged me with treason. The last time was we were in this court in 2016. And we stayed in this court for 5 years before they withdrew that charge of treason in 2016. But before that, apart from the other charges of treason, they have charged me with rape, which went to trial, in which the DPP's chief witness, the director of criminal investigations, admitted under oath in the High Court that she had falsified police documents in order to get at me. Under oath. I have also been charged by the same DPP with terrorism, illegal possession of guns, all of which charges ended in nothing except my suffering. In fact, before I was brought and charged here with the treason in 2016, I was charged with the same offense in Karamoja, in Moroto, before the DPP realized that she had presented the case in the wrong court. I had spent time in Karamoja, in Moroto prison. So you worship. When I seek your indulgence to pursue our freedom, it's against this background that I seem to be trapped in a country where the prosecutor does everything that leads to my suffering and the suffering of my family. So that's why when you applied for mandatory bail, having spent 6 months, more than 6 months in prison without a committal, it is because we know that they will try to do everything to keep us locked up, tortured, without a legal basis to do so. So, I'm not a lawyer. My lawyers, I believe, have done a good job in in seeking our freedom, considering that it's more than 180 days since we were remanded. They have sought for leave in their asked court to stay these matters so that we seek a revision of what has been decided. That seems not to have gained your favor. Your worship, it's under those kind of circumstances, prioritizing our freedom and the suffering of our families. But I would like to ask my lawyers, prioritize what needs to be done to seek our freedom. All these charges I have faced, I have never, ever failed to appear in a court for trial. Never for mention, if it is mentioned. Only that it keeps me in the courts rather than in doing my job. So your worship, I pray to you this afternoon, is that in the circumstances, I am asking my lawyers to prioritize our freedom, to go and seek that revision, to go and seek that day where it should be, since we can get any reliefs from here. I am in prison, and anybody who thinks that being in prison is a cup of tea should try being there. We don't want to stay in prison much longer, but we are in prison. And we will stay in prison as all this is going on. It's our posting in our lives to stay in prison. But allow us, your worship, that we prioritize what is priority to us, which is seeking, as the law provides, that we get relief from the prosecutor's arm and stay in our homes as he does whatever he wants to do. It would be extremely, I think, unfair for me to continue with him, doing what is good for him, without doing what is good for me under the law. So, worship, I ask my legal team to proceed now and do the needful, and that you give us time to come back, pay attention to what is doing.
Your worship, thank you so much for the opportunity.
I've had a speaker also.
I don't want to go deep into what I'm going to speak, but I'm not diverting from what my court has stated. To be specific, today I've made 592 days remand. And this has got to do with my right. And what we are trying to seek here is simply, under the Constitution, it is on that background, therefore, I have given a strict instruction to my lawyer to strictly pursue the review of this decision on mandatory bail. It is after that that I think other procedures can continue. That's all I request.
We seek to withdraw to go and prepare the necessary applications. Thank you.
Lordship, we are constrained to abide by the instructions of our client, regrettably. So we ask you to allow us to leave because it would appear we no longer have instructions to proceed.